Okay, a little bit more practice with solving using the square root method. So what we want to do first on this one is we want to isolate the quantity squared here. So I'm going to divide by 4. And I get x plus 9 quantity squared equals 27. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is take the square root of both sides. I'll take the square root of this side, and take the square root of this side, remembering the plus or minus here. Then I'll get x plus 9 equals plus or minus 3 radical 3. Remember, this can break into radical 9 times radical 3. So we want to simplify that. And then I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. And again, just for a nice way to lay this answer out, we're going to put x equals negative 9 plus or minus 3 radical 3. Remember, we have 2 solutions there. And we can't put these 2 numbers together here because this is a radical term here. Okay. So here we have our quantity squared that's already isolated, so I can square root this side, square root this side. Remember our plus or minus here. On the left side, I get 6x minus 4. On the right side, after simplifying, I get plus or minus 2 radical 3. Then I can add 4 to both sides. I get 6x equals plus or 4 plus or minus 2 radical 3. And then I'm going to divide by 6, okay? And what happens here is with this answer here, we want to make sure and simplify this, okay? And what I spot is this is even, and this is even, so I can divide all those terms by 2, and I end up with 2 plus or minus, since that 2 divided by 2 is 1, I don't want to put that 1 up front here. I'm going to put radical 3, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay. On this one, I want to subtract 24 from both sides first to isolate my squared term. And I get y squared is equal to negative 24. Then I'm going to square root both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus again. And what I get here is y is equal to, well, I have to remember that I have, I just learned about doing the square root of a negative number. I know an I is going to be involved with this. And then when we think about this, we have the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. So we have 2 radical 6i. Don't forget your plus or minus. I almost did. So we have plus or minus. And then the last one here, it's ready to take the square root because our term is isolated. Our squared term is, so I'll square root. And on the right side, well, let's do the left side first. I get x minus 7. On the right side, I get plus or minus 5i from the square root of negative 25. So I'll add 7 to both sides. And I end up getting x is equal to 7 plus or minus 5i. So we get, on this one and on this one, we get answers that involve an imaginary number. Okay, that's it. Thanks.